Hello, folks. I don't know if you're going to be, you can't see me. Uh, I'm having problems. I think you can hear me. That's one good thing. It's one of those days that everything has gone wrong that could go wrong. And yeah, everything has broken down. So cameras don't even FaceTime doesn't even seem like it is working. Let me hold on. Okay, let me see here. Come on. Hello. Did I just? No, I don't think I stopped it. Okay, did I? Okay, don't think I did. I stop? Okay, so I'm looking at warnings coming up on me. Everything. Look at this. Whatever. What if I do this? No. Okay, to use whatever. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. As I said, segmenting. So you can do you on this. You organize your lead magnets, your emails, your workflows, also called automations. You do them the way that they are going to work for you. This is just an example, but I do implore you, do this at the beginning. Get organized at the beginning, because if you don't, 6 months down the road, you're going to have a messy, messy email service provider application. So there's different ways you can organize things. You can be lead magnet specific, which that's how I'm going. Gonna abbreviate lead magnet LM. You're gonna send them a content calendar 2026. You may have another lead magnet that is about email strategy. You just keep segmenting them according to the lead magnet that they've downloaded. You can also segment them by interest. Now, if someone downloaded your content calendar, they are probably interested in content creation. You can segment by time based. Sometimes you may want to know the month, the quarter that they've joined. And finally, and not this is not the only way, but engagement based. So as your visitor is going through your customer journey, you want to call it a funnel, whatever you want to call it, some people are going to get more engaged than others. Some people you'll find are going to click on more downloads than others. So some people will attend your webinars, etc., etc. You'll bubble up to a certain group that are highly engaged, and those are your ideal customers. So we are going to look at this chart. And again, I'm just going to take that off because you can't see me anyway. So everything begins with your opt-in form. Every email service provider has that, or they wouldn't be an email service provider. The magic happens when your casual visitor happens upon your landing page, which has your opt-in form on it. When they give their name and email address. You don't have to always have names. Some people just use the email address, but then you have to end up calling them friend all the time. So you might as well ask them for their email, their name. So they've given you their name, they've given you their email address. They hit the button on here. It's called submit. You're going to probably say download now or get your free guide, whatever you want to say. Always make your button a call to action. Make it specific to your lead magnet and what you want them to do. At that point, when they click the button, a couple of things happen. They are going to go to your thank you page, and they're either going to get a success um, warning, or not a warning, but success will come up, or your form was submitted. Those are very, very boring. And I'm going to show you in a minute when I get into Flowdesk what you can do. I always create a custom thank you page. It just works better, and you'll see that in a minute. But at the same time, they're also receiving your lead magnet delivery email. Now, in your backing up to your thank you page, if you do a custom thank you page, you can just tell them what to do. Mine says kudos. Go check your email. If you can't see it, check your spam. Make sure you do that. If you don't see it, just reach out to us at hello at blah blah blah. So these two things happen at the exact same time. So once they get the email and they're reading the email, that particular lead magnet delivery email has the link to where your freebie is or your lead magnet. And you can store, a lot of people get confused on where are they supposed to put the lead magnet. So the lead magnet has to live somewhere. So it can live in your cloud storage, it can live in iCloud, it can live in Dropbox, Google Drive, any place that's safe, okay? And that you can get a link. So if you are on a WordPress website, if you have a WordPress website, you can upload your freebie to the media center, whatever it's called, and you'll get a very long URL that you're going to need to put under the link in your email. So at this point, they've clicked in that email. They're taken to where the download is living, and boom, they got the PDF, whatever you're going to use. You might use a Word doc. Some people are using audios. It might be an audio file, quick audio file, or video. They might go to a little video mini lesson. Anything that gives them value. But you got to have a home for where that stays. So Ryan Deiss, he's probably, I don't know, I don't want to call him a bro. He was probably a bro marketer because he started out way back in the day. And he had the analogy of this lead magnet journey is like dating. And so when you hit the submit button, you've kind of, well, no, first of all, you look at the landing page and you say, okay, I'm rather interested. I think that I might, click the button and see what all this is about. And I had to ask Claude about modern dating and modern dating apps. So if you swipe right, you're saying you're interested, okay? So you're going to do, after they get the freebie, you're going to give them a chance to digest that content that you've given them. And a couple of days later, these little things here are delay timers, the things that look like a clock. You might wait a day or 2 or 3 days, and then you're going to send them another email that is going to be the checking in email. Hey, how'd you like the freebie? Did you have a chance to, you know, digest? Not, you wouldn't say digest it, but did you have a chance to go over it? And did you have any questions? You're gonna be very friendly. You never ever ever do a sales pitch on this one. It's like dating. You would not ask someone to marry you. You wouldn't say, "Hey, I want you to have my babies." You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. You just had coffee. You're just going to have coffee. This is very casual, so don't do a sales pitch. Email, you're going to wait a few days. You're going to send them another email, and this email is going to be a little more, it's going to give them some value. You may give them a quick win on how they can best use the lead magnet you sent them. And then you're going to just do a soft intro, letting them know who you are, what you're about. And then you're going to wait a few more days, and then you're going to send a third email. And what I am going to show you is what's on the emails is very important. And I know these are text heavy, but go ahead and take some screenshots of these next 3 slides because they'll be very helpful when you get to writing them. So email 1 is a delivery email. It goes out immediate. Thank them for their interest in your lead magnet. Deliver the lead magnet download in there, and you're going to put that download link, or you're going to put the download link a couple of times. You might only put the button one time, but they're all going to the lead magnet's house. They're going to knock on that lead magnet's door. Then in the email, you can give them a brief reminder of what they downloaded and why it's valuable. You're also going to set expectations for what's coming next from you. You don't want to bombard them. Remember, it's dating, so, hey, I'll give you a call in a couple of days, yada, yada, yada. Let's see what we're doing next weekend. But let them know what your expectations are. And finally, no sales pitch here. This is just pure delivery and gratitude. Your second email, again, take a screenshot. It's going to be very helpful. This is the implementation quick win email you're going to give 2 or 3 days after delivery. You're going to give them, it's still going to be connected to the lead magnet. You might say, here's some, pro secrets about using your lead magnet. Just give them a quick win. Make them feel like that lead magnet was very valuable. Okay, and ask if they've had a chance. First, you got to ask if they've had a chance to use or review the lead magnet, because maybe they haven't. Definitely put the link, keep the link in the email. So after that, you're going to provide some practical tips on how to get started. And you are going to share a quick win or easy first step they can take immediately. Give them something, go into your email service provider and set your delivery email up now. You can do something like that. You're going to link to related content. You're going to invite them into your ecosystem, so to speak. If you have a blog, if you have a YouTube videos, if you have podcasts, just let them know where they can find you. And still, this is no sales pitch. You're just focusing on helping them succeed. You're just getting to know them. You might be on the second date by now. And the third email is relationship building and a soft intro, 4 to 5 days after email 2. You're going to share your story, mission, or why behind your business. And this one is, you can tell this one. I mean, everybody uses it, but you give a little story. I think one effective way to use your why and your story is, if it holds true, I've been where you are. I understand the frustration of building, like for me, an email list. You got to connect all that stuff. It can really be overwhelming, but I've been there. So that kind of, you know, gives the authority, and I've, found the code. I've, broken into the code. So the next thing, you're going to introduce your content again, your content ecosystem, your blogs if you have more than one blog, but I don't know. Your socials, your podcasts, wherever you're hanging out, and don't send them to any of your socials that you're not active on. Just send them to the socials that you're actually hanging out at. And not finally, but you're going to do a soft call to action. You're still not selling anything. You're going to, hey, follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on Instagram, wherever you're hanging out. If you do have a community, you may have a Facebook group. You can just invite them if it's free. Don't invite them to any type of community that they have to pay for, a membership. Don't do that. This is just if you have a free community, invite them in and ask them, hey, go explore your website. Your blog would probably most likely be on your website. You may have some, additional value. You're going to have some more value over there. So make sure you do. Make sure your website is going to offer them more value. After that, you can say a soft mention of your offers, just hinting. Secondary to relationship building, keep it at that. Like I might mention, if you get stuck on any of this email list building, reach out, give me, DM me, email me, however carrier pigeon, however, but reach out, don't suffer in silence. We'll get it sorted out. But you're not, you know, here's a 16-week course and it's $5,000. You're not doing anything like that. So nurture sequences can be any length. So you have the freedom to do that any length you want. Some of them are 9 emails, some of them are 6 emails. And if you want to, if you're still a little confused about what you're supposed to put in the email, just Google email nurture sequences, and you will come up with so many swipe files that people will give. The swipe files are verbatim copy and paste. I would not take an email and just copy and paste it. I would adapt it. Just like AI, we're not taking anything from AI per se. You're going to adapt it to your own personal style and voice, etc., etc. So here it says I'm supposed to come back on camera. Let's see what's happening. Same thing. Same thing. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Can we even get to Facebook? Can we get to the FaceTime? That's weird. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna sweat about it because it's no biggie. It's absolutely no biggie. What I'm gonna do now is we are going to actually jump into an email service provider. This one is Flowdesk. I'm not gonna sell you on this. If you can see up there in the upper right, it does say 20 days to lock in unlimited. They're taking away their unlimited subscribers, their unlimited everything. And you got 20 days to do that if you did want. So I'm going to be like, we're just dating, right? But I will let you know there is a time limit on this. And I do have a affiliate code that gives you 50% off of your first year. So if you're interested, just look me up and I will give that to you. I will also put it in the bottom in the notes here. So what we're going to do first, you got to do your form first, right? This is a dummy account. I think on my first or second live, I was doing this. I was doing it in my account and I didn't mean to go. I wanted to go over to segments. And unfortunately, when you click on audience, that is where all your emails are. So like for 2 seconds, there was everybody's email. And I thought, oh God, that's not right. So I had to click off it. And of course there was major editing. I had to blank those things out. I'm like, oh my God, somebody is going to really tear into me. So as you can see, Flowdesk, I did hit it. This is a fake email, Mona at home. They're in 2 segments, but let's go back to the form. So this is your opt-in form. If I click on this somewhere, it's going to let me edit it. And Flowdesk does have a lot. Everybody has some good opt-in forms, so don't worry about it. So you're going to customize this. You got all this stuff, everybody's pretty regular. When you get to the button, you are going to come down here. You're going to go to settings, this most important part. Double opt-in. I prefer double opt-in, but a lot of people don't. But I recommend double opt-in. It just gives you a cleaner list. So, but you do you. Absolutely. Notify me when somebody opts in. You may want that, but if you're bringing in a lot of opt-ins, you're going to want to turn that off. And right here, you can tell them, you can choose which segments you want them to be in. This one, just fake. The lead magnet they opted into was the content calendar for 2026. I also added them to the segment for content creation, and they joined in November 2025. Here is a link to that. This is a very ugly edit form link. You can always customize that right here. You can, okay, edit in my account, just customize it here. Don't use this because if you have more than one lead magnet, it's going to take over. So don't use your handle for this page. Link preview, let's see. That's what it looks like because I put the lead magnet right there. If not, if you don't put a description in here, right in, where it says add image, you'll get a big ugly Flowdesk logo. You don't want that. So this is your opt-in form. Everything starts from the opt-in form. I'm going to show you what my journey looks like, okay? And I'm all about easy, absolutely frickin' easy. This is a Canva website landing page. Easy, easy peasy, easy. Straightforward, short, won't take you that long. Grab a template, make it your own, get your buttons on there. And this button, notice that I've got it 3 times. Yeah, I got make my life easy 3 times. You want to repeat it as you're going down. And that button, even though it's a Canva landing page, goes out to bada boom, bada bing. Remember, you just saw that a minute ago. That's my Flowdesk form. And once they click this button, they are going to be taken to my thank you page. And this is my thank you page. And I give them I definitely tell them what to do. You have to call them to action. So kudos for making your life easier. Check your inbox, blah, blah, blah. It's headed your way. Got a little picture again, don't see it in your email. Check your spam. If not, reach out to us. And if you don't know where to start, you can give them a little bit of a push if, just a very soft, minor one-to-ones. So they would have to get on for a discovery call and all that good stuff. So we can help. Stop lighting your hair on fire, if you just don't know where to start, right? So now we're going to go back to Flowdesk and we got our form and you can see how that flow is going, right? I'm going to go back here and we're going to go into workflows. Now, like I say, this is a dummy account, so I did make a couple. And this is the lead magnet delivery. I'm going to go from here. Okay, notice that Flowdesk, a lot of email service providers do this, but they do give you the sort of workflow you can build. You can build a welcome workflow, make money, nurture, deliver a freebie. That's what we want to do, right? So you just edit this. These at least give you somewhere to start, right? So this is your delivery. Don't just keep clicking over here because if you do, you'll never be able to edit it. You got to go over there to edit it. So this is, a regular delivery email. You've gotten thousands of these, right? You're going to customize this, and where are we? There's our download. This is the download link. You're going to click that. You're going to go over here. You're going to either get the URL where you put your lead magnet, either cloud storage or wherever, WordPress, but that's where you're going to put that long ugly URL. They're never going to see it. All they're going to see is click to download. But if you just don't have anywhere to put your lead magnet, here's the easy way. It should say upload your lead magnet. Just upload it there and be gone. be done, be done, be done. You'd go through finishing this, launching it. You definitely test it. Now, this is called your delivery email, your delivery workflow. I'm going to get back to here. And there's different schools of thought. This is mine. See, there's only one delivery email and they exit. Well, I put the checking in email next after the delivery email. So what I would do, instead of, I would click up here, I would give them a time delay. That's when the time delay may be 1-2 days. And then I would click again. I would give them another email. And I would say, this would be their checking in email. And then they could exit. So if I had 10 different lead magnets, I would have 10 different delivery workflows. But I don't want to have 10 different nurture sequences because that gets a little hairy. If you're talking to this only works if you're talking to the same ICA, the same ideal client. If you have multiple ICAs and you have multiple different products, you may want to have multiple nurture sequences. In my case, I'm talking to the same person, and I can be detailed about the second checking in email, referencing back to the lead magnet, making sure that the link is in there. And I don't know if I made this up. Wait a minute. Click. The next thing I would do, exit. Okay, so I would have both of them here. We got the second email. I would not exit. Yes, delete, because I want to email. Okay. Duplicate, create. No. I want to do another delay. And then, so I'm going to do a delay. There it is. And then I'm going to send this second email down here. Now, then I could funnel them into one nurture sequence, which I feel, for my use case, would be a little bit better. Let me see what's going on in the comments because I've lost everything. So I don't know. Is anybody over there? Let's see. We don't know. That's not important to you, right? So we've got our delivery workflow. And then you can do, the next thing would be your nurture sequence. And like I say, that's the 3 emails that we went over. And I would tag them as universal nurture. And this would be very generic. This is not going to reference a specific lead magnet. I would reference list building, right? Because I may have tons of stuff on list building. So I would reference that, but I would never, reference the particular lead magnet that they have downloaded. So to me, that makes it a little bit easier, makes it a little cleaner. We're going to go over to the audience right now. And as you see, I have one active fake email. We're going to go over to segments. And, okay, my heart almost stopped because I thought those were emails. I looked over and I'm like, why are there so many in there? Oh my God, did I do it again? So anyway, this is segments, so I'm cool. So Flowdesk always has all subscribers. Everybody jumps in here. Not much you can do with that one. Everybody's going to be in there. Notice there's one. I've made the segment for universal nurture. You can color code them. There's my lead magnet. They joined. It's another join time. The interests there. Another lead magnet. And I do like Flowdesk's little. I think this is nice. I think this is nice. I'm a visual person, so for me to just look at that and say, now see, I've all LMs are going to be this light blue, and all interests are going to be purple, violet. No, that's lavender. I would probably want this to be another color because that's an ugly color. But I'm going to make it that color. And I'm going to go back now. So this is how you would segment your email list as people come in. As you go further, you're going to segment more because you're going to understand. Remember in the beginning I said behavior. You're going to be able to follow their behavior. So as you get more and more mature with your email list, people will be doing different things. They'll be downloading different lead magnets. You may be having different offers, and people will just be doing different things. And this helps you to segment them and know exactly what they're doing, where they are on that customer journey. Are they engaged? Are they not? Are they just, they got one lead magnet, but they never interacted. That's all they did. So that is segmenting. When a contact is created, they can be in more than one segment. And again, your organization is going to be completely different from my organization. You're going to do however you want to do it. And one thing, you might be saying, I don't have segments. You may have tags. A lot of email service providers use tags. I prefer tags, but I'm getting used to the segments, and the color coding really does help me a little bit. So, yeah, and I like when they're color coded when I even do the list. So that's kind of cool. But if you get in your email service provider and you see uh, tags, tags are segments. Tags are letting you know the behavior. So if that confuses you, let me know, and you can jump on a call and I'll see what platform you're using, and we'll figure it out. Okay. So, that being said, we are really at time. Wasn't that didn't take it any time at all, did it? I hope I'm going to do this little recap. If there's any questions, please let me know. So let's see. Let's see what we got. So our recap is workflows, automate your entire lead magnet delivery. Strategic segmentation unlocks future campaign success. As I said, you're not going to segment that much at the beginning, but as you go on, you're going to have all kinds of different segmentations or tags. They're all, those are synonyms, as well as workflows equal automations. Your email service provider may say automations. MailChimp says automations, ActiveCampaign says automations. Kit, I can't remember what Kit says, but they're the same thing. So we did the 3 email nurture sequence that builds trust before selling. We went over the proper workflow structure is you got a subscriber, you're putting them in a segment, and you're emailing them those, either the delivery or you're emailing them the nurture. One workflow replaces hours of manual work. So that is it. I wish I could come back on camera, but let's try it again. Okay. I don't know. Now it's over, right? Oh, and this isn't even branded. So let me make it look like I'm looking at you. So, yeah, other than having all these kerfuffles this morning, I did make it through. I hope you learned a little something. Uh, you can always, always, always just look me up. Look me up, and I'd be I'd be more than welcome to just, help you out, because this stuff is just, you guys didn't get into this to learn tech, right? No. No, 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 no. It's not what you got in there. You have a brilliant idea. You have this amazing thing that you're trying to get out to the world, and you're getting stopped. You're all these roadblocks are coming up because you didn't buy into the tech. You shouldn't buy into the tech. That's not where your brilliance lies. That's kind of where my brilliance lies. So you need to do this as easy, simple as possible. Start off easy. A lot of people jump into things like Kajabi. Kajabi's just the grandfather of, the mother of them all, right? And it that can be confusing. They jump in there because maybe it's been recommended to them, but they haven't built their list yet. And they've got a really robust application that they're trying to figure out, and all they really want to do is grow their list. Now, I say don't go into a course builder like Kajabi until you have your list and you're actually ready to grow your list. Does that make sense? So get out there. I want you to at least figure out what your delivery email is going to be and what your 3 nurture sequences are going to be. And then next week, I hope everything goes a little bit better. But next week, I am going to talk and teach you about advanced segmentation, which includes conditionals, like if they said yes or they said no, you go down different paths, and an if kind of an if then else type of scenario. So we'll talk about those next week, but I think this is enough. I really do think this is enough for one day. I am almost at time because these are supposed to be 45 minutes. I'm not supposed to take up all your Saturday morning, right? So we got through it. We had really every technical thing that could happen happened. Um, I always say, I keep course creators out of tech hell, but techies get into tech hell too. And there's like layers. I think I told you last week. There's layers of hell. Are we allowed to? I hope. Are we allowed to curse? I wasn't cursing. It, that's a place. Heaven's a place. Hell's a place, right? So I can say that. I think. I guess YouTube will tell me. I don't know. But yeah, right now I'm in a bit of tech hell, and I need to overcome it. Uh a lot of people would say, Ramona, why this is the FaceTime camera. I can't believe that. It why does it look better than my camera? Yeah, it's FaceTime. Um I might use this all the time. At least it doesn't go blurry. But that's why I always have it set up as the fallback. Doing these things, you do learn you got to have a fallback. So, like I say, not going to keep you. It's Saturday. I know there's college games coming on. Um, it's okay. It's almost, it's holiday time. We can start doing the holiday thing, right? We can. I started to watch Love Actually last night, and I decided I got to like Hugh Grant, and I was like, I can't do this yet. I got to wait till after Thanksgiving to do this. But I know a lot of people are really indulging in the Christmas and Thanksgiving spirit right now. So have a great time. Enjoy yourselves, and I will see you next week. Ta ta.